breaking free. Yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression. It's out for liberty. Breaking free. Yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts. We're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting loud, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty. Breaking free, yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. They try to silence us, but we won't be tamed. Voices getting loud, can't keep us in chains. We got the power, we got the might. Together we can shine, together we can fight. Feel the rhythm in your feet, it's time to stand tall. Raise your voice and shout, we're breaking down the walls. We're breaking free, yeah, we're breaking free. No more oppression, it's out for liberty. Breaking free, yeah, we're taking a stand. Freedom's in our hearts, we're reclaiming our land. We're claiming our land.
I hate this show. Oh my goodness. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another Friday night edition of Are You Smarter Than a Politician? This is the political cage match where bold solutions win and bad ideas get wrecked. Tonight on Are You Smarter Than a Politician? Where does personal safety end and government power begin? Our theme is guns, rights, and government might, from self-defense and policing and state overreach. We're testing the limits of authority, forcing hard trade-offs, and making our contestants pick one when there's no safe answer. Joining me are three notable political minds and podcasters who care deeply about these issues and don't necessarily agree on where the line should be. So get ready, because tonight you decide who is smarter than a politician. Joining us for, I think, the third time, Shaun Collins. He's the host of the Buds and Reality podcast on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. It's on YouTube, Rumble, Spotify. You can follow him on X at Buds and Reality. What is up, Shaun? How are you, man?
Man, I'm doing great, and I really appreciate you having me on again. And I'm also on X. I go live on X as well. That's actually where I get most of my views from, but I really appreciate you having me on. This is a lot of fun to do this every time. And I get my points nuked every time, so I'll probably get nuked again tonight. But that's okay. It's all in good fun. But I do have to push something just because it's on your show. And that is this Wednesday coming up at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on X, YouTube, and Rumble.
Wait. Hold on 1 second. I got to get myself out of trouble here. So let me just phrase this as a question. Hey, Shaun, do you have anybody beautiful, intelligent, and witty on this Wednesday?
I do. I really do.
Wrong button. Now I'm in trouble again. Wrong button. There we go.
I do. And her name is Mrs. Terry Batts. She is the behind-the-scenes woman on your show, and she is absolutely brilliant. And we're going to talk about some serious stuff when it comes to how people are getting your data and your children's data and who's sharing it. And it's going to be absolutely crazy, because you'll never believe who's doing that. So I'm only going to tease it like that. You got to watch on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on X, YouTube, and Rumble.
Excellent. And I don't even know how to do this, but oh, there we go. First time I've ever hit that button. That's for Terry. So awesome. That'll be excellent. Terry's underrated because she's, so visible with the show, but she's such a smart lady, and she knows more about this education stuff than anyone. And I've openly said this, she did more to get my kid in college than I did. So she's excellent with all this stuff. So that'll be a great one. Also joining us again for a second time, Jake Day. He is the new co-host of the If by Whiskey podcast. It's on Rumble, YouTube, and X. And you can follow him on X at Whiskey Smiles. How are you tonight, Jake?
I'm excellent, man. Thanks for having me back again. You got a Get on the buttons, bro.
He put a hat on and it confused me. I thought somebody was doing a shtick.
No, I'm excited to be back again. I got second place last time, so we'll see how it goes this time. But yeah, I am hosting If by Whiskey with Mark, and we had Mark Maresca on the other night from the White Pill Box. Was excellent, and we got Jason Rink coming up next week. So it's been fun being part of a regular show again, and it's fun coming back here to do this again. So thanks for having me.
Awesome. Great to have you. And that's a great show with Mark Pools, one of our buddies, really great guy. And you guys are doing a great job. So keep it up. Also joining us for the first time. No, wait, no, wrong button again. Joining us for the 9 millionth time. He's wearing a shoe on his head, apparently. Vermin Supreme. Vermin Supreme is joining us. He is the host of They Both Suck podcast. That's on, we got a competition going on Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. He also has the Awake Not Woke stores. That's awakenotwoke.com. And you can find him on X at American versus Gov. How are you tonight, Casey Rasmussen?
Fantastic. And go Broncos. Just shouting it out. Go Broncos. 11-2. You can't get a whole lot better than that. But yeah, tomorrow, you don't have my podcast. We won't be doing it tomorrow. So tune in with Shaun and Terry and check that out. But yeah, normally we're on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. That's where you can check it out for They Both Suck podcast on X, YouTube, all of the social media stuff.
What is going on? Is it Tuesday or Friday? I'm pretty sure it's Friday.
Oh, same thing. It's all the same. Look at how my week's gone. I'm still trying to piece this week together.
I thought I hit the wrong button and I screwed up the calendar.
You did.
So, okay, that's on me.
It's all your fault.
I'll take credit for that. So awesome. And joining us as always, the lovely, talented, amazing, not mad at me at all, Terry Batts. How are you tonight, Terry?
You know that doesn't work. Oh my gosh. Hi guys. How's everybody doing? Hello, Dad.
The lovely Terry Batts. Everybody take a bow, Terry.
Oh, look, I followed an order. Everybody. Yay, Terry. Let's go, guys.
Oh, and I made a little surprise for Terry even before I knew she was going to be mad at me tonight. You can follow me and Terry. I am at Smarter Game Show. She is at Bats T76 on X. We got a little festive in our Legos here. So a little something for Terry because she likes when we do the extra stuff. So follow us on X. You can also get our merch at freedomsuperstore.com. Check out the amazing work that Terry's doing on our YouTube shorts. You can find us on YouTube at Freedom Uncut. You can also, one or two people found us on Rumble one time, so I don't really feel like I need to mention that at all. Our sponsor for the Friday night shows is Xano. So if you're tired of surveillance coins dressed up as freedom tech, Xano is the real deal. Open source, enterprise grade privacy, scalable and secure, build, spend, and tokenize any asset without the peeping eyes. Xano isn't just private, it's none of their business. And if you're new to the space, they have a great website. Visit intro.xano.org to learn how Xano gives you the power to own your own data, your money, and your assets all in one simple, secure platform built for real world freedom. We appreciate their sponsorship. Once again, that website is intro.xano.org. Really good place to learn about this space. So thank you, Xano. We have another announcement. Let's see. I clicked the wrong button again. Jeez Louise. All right. Are You Smarter Than a Politician is hitting the road in 2026. We're doing 5 live shows at Libertarian Party state conventions, and you can be there. New to the list this week is the California convention in February in beautiful San Diego. Really looking forward to it. Come meet fellow freedom lovers, watch the show live, and see contestants put to the test. And if you want real change, I urge you to join your state party, become a delegate, and help shape the national convention. Don't just talk about liberty, live it, and come see us live and prove that you are smarter than a politician. We've got Georgia in January. That's coming up January 16th and 18th. Like I said, we got California. The weekend after, we got Florida. We've got North Carolina in March. We've got Texas in April. And then the national convention in beautiful Grand Rapids, May 21st to 25th. I hope it's not cold there and snowing anymore when we get up there. Thank you to all of our subscribers. We've got Terry, who's paying to be here and be mad at me. We've got Amity, Ocean Blue, Shirley, Dr. Boulay, and Lisa, Dan, Chris, Casey's a subscriber as well. Thank you, Casey. Dave Krantz. Jake is also a subscriber. So we got 2 subscribers here. So Shaun should for sure lose because he's cheap. We have Dr. Phil Rain. Congratulations to Dr. Phil Rain on his doctorate. We've got Jacob Winograd, and we have Anarcho Syndicate, which is our buddy Brent Freeman. And that's his clothing line. So you can follow him at Anarcho SCC on X. Appreciate you all. You can subscribe to us on X and get bonus stuff. It's your backstage pass. And if you want to sponsor the show, studio@freedomuncut.com is the email address. So, and I think Terry actually checks it now because I didn't. So if you want to contact us, that's the way to do it. That was a lot to say. So let's jump in the chat. Wow, the chat's hopping already. There's Dan. Welcome, Dan. Catalyst is here. What's up? There's Brent. What's up, Brent? Brent's got cool stuff up. He's been traveling too. Check out Brent's stuff. Anarcho Chef's here. What's up, buddy? Kilburn reposted. Appreciate the repost. Everybody do so if you can. Shirley joining us from across the pond. I hope you're feeling better. -2 to Casey for the Bronco in the background. Did you miss the shoe on his head? He had a Bronco shoe on his head. 100 points to Shaun. Chris is here. What's up, Chris? 200 Good Samaritan points to Free. He's so not embracing his government persona. 200 to Shaun and Jake for showing up. Oh, boy. 200 to Shaun for having the amazing. 100 to me because I feel bad for never giving me any points. Thank you, Kilburn. I don't deserve really anything. 100 to Casey. Go Broncos. Win me some free donuts. I should have deleted that one. -100 for the Broncos fan. There we go, Rude. Appreciate you. 200 to Casey for the hat. F the Broncos, but that's cool. That's unacceptable as well. Hello to Terry. Kobe reposted. Thank you, Kobe. -100 free for saying a lot. Yeah, that was a lot. That's fair. Raspberries from Patty. What's up, Patty? Shaun's here. -100 for spelling his name wrong. Yeah, we got a bunch of misspelled names on the panel tonight. Thank you, Jake, for spelling your name correctly. Thank you, Jake's parents. All right, so let's jump into it here. Welcome again to Are You Smarter Than a Politician? Please share this out. Bust the algorithm, as Casey likes to say. Normally what happens is the winner gets the Ron Paul holding the Ron Paul trophy, but I wanted to mix it up for this illustrious guest panel that we have going on. So the new prize tonight is the peace prizes don't really matter anymore. So I wanted to make a peace prize that matters. So the winner will be getting the Are You Smarter Than a Peace prize. And it's a beautiful piece of artwork. It's this people that did Mar-a-Lago. I think the bathrooms at Mar-a-Lago. It's a beautiful piece of artwork. So that's what you will be getting. So enjoy that. I hope that stares at you into eternity. Also in the prize cabinet is the Mike Johnson signature cologne Swamp Ass, as well as the Ayn Rand Fountainhead teddy bear. We also have the home edition of Are You Smarter Than a Politician if you want to annoy your friends and neighbors. And new this week, a bath toy. It's called The War on Fentanyl. So if you want your kid to grow up to be a war criminal, or, you want him to be like, Petrol Pete Hegseth, buy this bath set. And he can practice bombing innocent people in boats. It's really a lot of fun. We got a little endorsement here. It's fun to play War Criminal Daddy. It's really a great little set, maybe a great Christmas gift. So, you can get that as well. And, of course, we got the Lego Killdozer because nobody talks about the Killdozer more than me or Casey. So, the rules are, I am the government. I talk a lot. Whatever I say goes. Scoring errors count. Life isn't fair. Suck it up, Buttercup. Nobody cares. Rules are they can debate each other. They can veto an answer, tariff an answer, redistribute an answer. And, of course, everybody starts off with -500 points because the government gets paid first. Here's how scoring works. The chat controls the score, give or take up to 100 points from the contestants. And because the government believes in crony capitalism, subscribers can give or take up to 200 points because they pay me Their voice matters more in the government. Nuking the scores. Any former contestant can nuke a score, taking it down by 1,000 points. Contestants can only be nuked once, although Shaun's not a subscriber, so you can nuke him as many times as you like to. And yeah, so that'll work. All right, let's get started. We're going to put Terry back into the back here. She controls the chat and the score. Extremely difficult. Thank you, Terry. Thanks for not being mad at me anymore. I accept your apology. So let's see. I got to move Casey here. That didn't work.
She's still mad, I think.
Is she mad?
Max, back.
She seems like she recovered. She seemed like she recovered there. All right, let's get started. Shaun, you are in the catbird seat here. We're going to start off with you. Category is surveillance state abolition. Should secret surveillance courts be abolished?
Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. And I'll say because, well, they don't have the right to surveil us. That's like an attack on some constitutional rights, if anybody believes in that, especially the Fourth Amendment. So, like, I don't know what else to say. There should be no warrantless surveillance whatsoever, period. Not on citizens.
Excellent. Jake, to you. Should the government be banned from collecting data on Americans without a warrant?
100%. Absolutely. What gives anybody the right to my data other than me, unless, yeah, warrant or not, they don't get my data. No.
All right. Kelsicles, to you. Should agencies that violate privacy laws face criminal penalties?
Yeah. And when we're talking about the government, if we're going to start violating Americans' rights, we're starting to talk about tyranny, and there is only one way you address tyranny. And so I can't say that because of the platforms we're on, but yes, we should actually hold them accountable. But in this country, we struggle to hold anybody in the government accountable for anything.
Don't get Shaun fired up, because he'll start talking about his favorite way to decorate a tree. So that's yeah. Thank you, Shaun. Thank you. All right, Shaun, back to you. Category is civil liberties restoration. Should civil asset forfeiture be abolished entirely?
Fuck yes, 100% it should be. It should have never been in the first place. Because why is somebody entitled to somebody else's property? It's so crazy that anybody even believes this nonsense.
All right. Jake, to you. Should emergency powers automatically expire unless reapproved by lawmakers?
Yes. Emergency powers should be just that. Like, they should be rare. And when they are enacted, they should be regularly revoted to be reconstituted. There's no way that should just be an open-ended thing. I lived through Washington State during COVID, and they took those to the nth degree. So I've lived through that here. Not a chance. Never again.
All right. Casey, to you. Should officials lose immunity when they violate constitutional rights?
That's a trick question. Officials shouldn't have had immunity to start with, because they should be held accountable to the same laws we are all held accountable for. So there's no reason to be able to create this little caveat for them. They should not have immunity, so they should be held accountable.
All right. That was not me. That sounded like they barfed in the background, by the way, just if everybody's listening with your AirPods in. So, all right. Back to you, Shaun. Category is property rights protection. Should eminent domain for private development be banned?
Absolutely 100%, because what did the government do to purchase that property? They did nothing. They're coming to take it for less than nothing. So, like, how is that even like a thing to where, like, that's acceptable behavior? Like, let's just put it, for instance, I paid $300,000 for my house, right? And then the government decides they want my property, and they're going to offer me $150,000 for it. Please tell me how that's right, because it's not. It's definitely not right. They should pay me market value and some for wanting me to give them property that I own already. That's just how this goes. But unfortunately, that's not how it works because people refuse to grab their balls and frickin' take a hold of their situations.
Oh boy. Oh boy. And I'd like to take the under on what you paid for your house, by the way. Jake, to you.
Ha!
Should zoning laws be allowed to block lawful home businesses?
Absolutely not. Why would you be able to block any home business as long as it's not hurting another person? There's no reason. Home businesses should be legal across the board unless you're actually harming people.
Oh, good. They're talking about Sean's balls in the chat. That's great. That's a great development here. Thanks, Sean.
You're welcome.
Casey, to you. Should the government ever seize property without a criminal conviction?
No, the government shouldn't seize anything with any of that. And they would do that with taxes. You don't pay your property taxes. All of a sudden, they're going to take your property. Absolutely not. They should not be seizing that stuff without going through due process and convicting you of some sort of crime.
All right. Back to you, Sean. Category is local power rebirth. Should states be allowed to ignore unconstitutional federal mandates?
Nullify everything everywhere, of course. And as a matter of fact, it shouldn't even be your state. It should go all the way down to your local township level, whether you're a township or a city or a village or whatever it may be. You can tell these people to pound sand if they decide they're going to do some nefarious stuff. So yeah, absolutely. This should not be like a thing.
Great answer. Jake, to you. Should local voters have veto power over federal land use?
Yes, absolutely. And federal land should be a lot more public than it is already. I mean, but everything should be local. It should be local first. And back to your previous question, is just start with the states, and then the federal government gets sloppy seconds.
I agree. That'll be in the chat too, I'm sure.
Yep.
Casey,
I'm
to
going for
you.
points here.
Casey, should cities control their own policing policies?
Yeah, they should. And your city can actually do that. The last question was a perfect one, is that we need to be taking back control locally. For my city, for example, did exactly that. We formed a unified police department for our entire county that ended up serving just the high populace of the area. And so my city withdrew and established our own police department again. And so we can service our own community. You absolutely can do it. You just have to get involved locally and elect local officials that will make these decisions, not side with Big Daddy government.
Well, luckily the chat's moved on from Sean's balls to now we're talking about sloppy seconds. So that's a
Wait until we get to the lube.
You're welcome.
Oh boy, here we go. Sean, back to you. The category is taxation overhaul. Should income taxes be replaced with a simpler system?
I mean, do you want the anarchist answer or the real answer, like the realistic answer? I guess
Realistic.
The real answer are the statist answer would be, well, we all want less taxes and more money in our pockets, but really taxation should be abolished altogether because taxation is slavery and nobody's going to tell me otherwise. And if you think I'm crazy for saying that, please, I encourage you to try to not pay your taxes and see who shows up to your house with guns and suits and everything else.
I agree. Jake, to you. Should payroll taxes be optional with private alternatives?
I mean, I would take that as a trick question. There shouldn't be any payroll tax in the first place, but I don't see how any private alternatives are even going to do any. No, it's just no payroll taxes whatsoever.
Okay. Casey, to you. Should Americans be allowed to opt out of federal programs they don't use?
Well, we can opt out. You just have to start actually standing up for what you do and who you are. You can start doing things in cash, pulling things out of the current electronic cash payment systems. You can start stepping away and pulling your money out to where you are opting out. Right now, everybody just thinks that you have to voluntarily go with it because they don't want to push back. So the tough news is you can, but you actually have to put in effort, and Americans don't want to do that.
All right.
We
have reached our what?
Can I chime in on something that a little bit he just said?
Of course.
You know, so if you really want to dodge taxes for real and you're self-employed, honestly, if you're a self-employed individual and you want to dodge taxes, you're allowed to accept $25,000 a year in gifts. Okay. So you can have, and I don't care if the state or the NSA is watching this or not. I really don't. But like, you can have your clients write you checks, and under that memo section, they can write it as a gift. And they can't tax you on that up to $25,000. That's all I got to say about that.
Oh boy, now we're giving tax advice. That's a terrible.
Section 179 is amazing of the tax code. I suggest you to learn it. And 6,000-pound vehicles, that's exactly what that tax code is about.
All right, so if you haven't put your scores in the chat, do so now. If you want tax advice from any of these guys, that's on you. But all right, so Waz is here. What's up, Waz? Welcome back, buddy. Anonymous Patriots here. Welcome. Oh, also Waz. This is Waz coming to you from YouTube. So Waz, meet Waz. 100 to free. The prizes are off the hook. Appreciate that. As a Chargers fan, I can't root for you, bro. Yeah, that's fair. What's up, Soggy Oreo? 100 to Jake, my data, my property. 100 to Casey, violate the government. 200 to Jake for buying a shitload of Liberty merch for me. Yeah, buy the Anarcho Syndicate stuff. It's cool stuff. Find it on Brett's profile or the Anarcho Syndicate one that we mentioned earlier. Shirley's got 200 to Casey for holding the government accountable. 200 to Shaun. F yeah, abolish civil asset forfeiture. It's just legal theft. 100 to Sion. End civil asset forfeiture. 200 to Shaun. Eminent domain is BS. Here we go. Grab the balls. Yep. 200 for the badass shirt, Casey. 200 to Jake. Home businesses should not be regulated or zoned, period. Points to Casey for due process. Points to Shaun for fire, fire, fire. 200 to Shaun. Nullify everything and tell the government to pound sand. Minus 50 to Shaun. Don't forget about the boroughs. 100 to Jake. Sloppy seconds. Yeah, here we go. Sloppy seconds. Yep, sloppy seconds are terrible, especially after Shaun grabs his balls. Thank you, Chris. Appreciate that. 100 to Shaun. Taxation is slavery. 200 for making free say, oh boy, Terry's choice. Who gets them? 200 to Shaun. Taxation is slavery. 100 to Shaun. Taxation is slavery. 200 to Jake for eliminating payroll tax. 200 to Casey for providing tax solutions. Yeah, this is, that might be the worst thing that's happened so far. Is that a red 335 on the wall behind you, Jake?
No, it's a Gretsch, but good eyes.
69 to Shaun. What's up, Mad Dog? Minus 10 to Shaun. It's 25K per giver. 420 to Jake. Yeah, thanks for that, Mad Dog. 500 each because I don't know what the F what's been going on. Damn job. Appreciate you, brother. Jake got him, Chris. We have heard about his balls before. Went with sloppy seconds. 100 to Jake for having a haircut from 2016.
Thanks, JJ.
At least you got hair, bro.
Grumpy
I'm going to
Gnome's
rock
here.
it while I got it. I'm just going to keep it going while I can.
I ain't taking off my hat. I'm bald as shit, dude. Like,
we actually started a little late, but it was more early late than it is late, I guess. But it
wasn't my fault.
Especially with Shaun being here, it was very proud.
It was not my fault this time. Swear to God.
Yeah. All right. Excuse me. Let's check the scoreboard and see where we are at. Oh, this is shocking. This is absolutely shocking. Shaun is in the lead. Shaun and his balls apparently are in the lead. 1225. Jake with 1,000 and Kelsicles just behind with 700 points. So we've got balls, sloppy seconds, and Casey. I guess that makes you sloppy thirds, Casey, is really what the scoreboard tells me at this point. Casey, you're in third place. You're sloppy thirds. What do you think?
Hey, I can't wait to get talking about lube later. It's going to be a great game. We're going to have a whole lot of fun here in just a little bit.
I think that was scientific, and he's not here, so I feel like we might avoid that one, but we might not.
I'll bring it up.
Okay, all right, perfect. Jake, second place. What do you think so far?
This is right where I was last time, but I'm coming for you, Sean. Watch your ass.
Are you coming for Sean or Han or Sean?
Please don't come for me, dude. Don't do that. Don't
Hey,
come for me.
We don't have to. We don't
Don't
have to.
do that.
We
He's
don't
trying to
have
get you excited, man.
Yeah, Sean, we appear to still be on all of the platforms.
For
what do you
now.
think so far, you're in first place.
Well, I mean, I've been in first place before, twice actually, and then I got nuked. So, I mean, hopefully I stay here, but I'm still expecting somebody to hit that button.
I think it's a great libertarian strategy to talk about people nuking you every time you get the mic. So I feel like that's a really good strategy. It's like basically like telling people to vote for Kamala is really like what you're doing. Is
You
like
have
telling
to
people
do it.
nuke you.
You have to do it to save the republic. You have to nuke me to save the republic.
All right, let's get back to it. Sean, to you. Category is police accountability reform. Should qualified immunity be abolished?
Oh yeah, across the board, not just for police either. Like anybody, we're all the same people. Nobody is higher than another. Like we all have to have accountability for our actions. So I don't get why it's okay for a cop to murk somebody in cold blood. But if I were to maybe shoot somebody that came into my house unwelcome, I might have to face criminal charges. Like, I don't see that as a fair situation, especially with all men are created equal and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, everybody should be held to the same account, whether you're a president of the United States of America or some person living on the streets who's homeless. You should be held to account in the same ways, period.
Well, you're lucky. Casey can't nuke you because he's on the show, but he is trying to get the hashtag nuke Sean to trend. So we got that going on. So, and I just want to add that on this show, some people are higher than others at times. So I just want to throw that out there as well. Jake, to you, should all body cam footage be public by default?
Yes. All body cam footage should be public so it can be reviewed in real time, be saved. I don't like the idea of body cams in the first place, but if we're gonna have them, then yeah, there's none of that should be private.
Why don't you like body cams?
It leads to too many maybes. I don't know. I've seen enough body cam stuff where stuff is cut off that happened before the camera started rolling, and then stuff that the camera stops. You don't really ever get a full picture of it. I just don't think that that's a good way to go.
Interesting point. All right, Casey, to you. Should federal agencies be barred from militarizing local police?
Yeah, I think that militarizing police is only setting up a deeper police state, and we should be careful with that. It is creating a dangerous precedent. You might as well be setting up a federal police department within your community, and we should not be supporting that.
All right. Sean, back to you. Category is ending endless wars. Should Congress be required to vote before any military action?
Well, yes, they should, and that's the way it used to be. But post 9/11, they gave up all their powers to the president of the United States. So here we are. You know, that's just the way it goes under our political system at the moment. But yeah, they should be declaring war. That's the way it was set up to be. But hey, you know what? Such is life, I guess.
All right. Jake, to you. Should foreign military bases be closed unless directly defending the U.S.?
Foreign military bases should be closed regardless. We shouldn't have any bases on any soil that's not U.S. soil. Doesn't matter what the purpose is, especially when we're $38 trillion in debt and climbing, and we're sending $45 million a week to the fucking Taliban. Let's get all the bases back just on our soil and focus only on our defense instead of all this nation building and regime change shit.
So you don't believe in make the Taliban great again? That's
I do not.
I'm with you on that. All right. Casey, to you. Should presidents lose authority to launch drone strikes alone?
Yeah, they actually do not have the authority to launch drone strikes alone, because when they are striking anything outside of our border, they are taking it. That is a war crime, and that requires Congress to act and declare a declaration of war. But because Americans are so damn soft, we cannot hold politicians accountable and really keep them within the constraints and the laws that we have in place. So therefore, we have presidents that just do whatever the hell they want by striking other countries and signing executive orders.
I'm with you on that. Shaun, to you, the category is self-defense rights. Should self-defense be recognized as a natural right?
Well, number one, it is a natural right. Number two, yes, it should be recognized as a natural right, because no person, man or woman, has the right to tell somebody else, man or woman, how to defend themselves. Period. End of story. That's not how this works. And shall not be infringed means exactly that. So whatever the government owns, we should own. And that includes tanks, nukes, rocket launchers, whatever the market, decides is okay for us to buy. But like, it's a natural right to defend yourself. It's biblical to defend yourself. Christ wants you to defend yourself. So like, gun laws are an infringement, I guess, per se.
All right. I think that you should be able to own anything the government owns besides children. So I just want to throw that out there. All right,
And
Jake,
you were
to you.
worried about me getting your account nuked.
Yeah, I lost interest in that about 37 minutes ago. Jake, to you. Should concealed carry be legal nationwide?
I'm going to accept this alley oop and say, hell yes, check out the t-shirt. There's a Second Amendment for a reason. We don't even need concealed carry laws. We don't need anything. We just need a Second Amendment, which we already have. We should take all those other laws and wipe our ass with them.
All right. Casey, to you. Should gun laws punish misuse instead of ownership?
Should gun laws punish misuse instead of ownership? Yeah, I was reading that differently initially. So that's why I was like weirded out by the question. But yes, you should be punished for misuse because it is a human. Guns don't just go around firing themselves or showing up in places and taking people out. It requires a human to take them there and fire them. And so if you are going to do anything wrong with a gun, just like a car, you're held accountable. We don't go and say we're going to take cars after someone ran into a crowd. You don't see that happening. We just say we're going to punish the person. Why are we not doing the same with our firearms?
All right. Shaun, back to you. Category is justice system integrity. Should prosecutors be punished for withholding evidence?
Punished to the highest degree, to be honest with you. If they're doing nefarious things and putting up wrong evidence, they need to be held into account to the fullest accord. Just like any of us would. Like, we need to stop I guess what's the words I'm looking for? We need to stop putting these law enforcement people or people who write bills in government or whatever above us. We need to stop doing that immediately. They are our equals. And as a matter of fact, they are our employees. We pay them. They work for us. We need to remember this. So like, they need to be held in account no matter what it is. I don't care. That's just the way it goes, period. We need to get back to some normalcy and some, I guess in a leftist term, some equality when it comes to this shit, because it's starting to get ridiculous.
All right, Jake, to you. Should juries be allowed to judge the law itself?
Yeah, 100%. And nullify any of them that are unconstitutional. That's it. End of story.
Absolutely. Casey, to you. Should mandatory minimum sentences be repealed?
Yes, I think the mandatory minimums are a slippery slope, especially when they're utilized with a judge. It seems like those are coming into play more than they do with a jury. And so they are being weaponized against citizens. And so, yes, we should not see them.
All right. Shaun, to you, the category is spending accountability. Should every federal program expire unless reapproved?
Every federal program should expire, period, because there is no quote unquote federal program. They run off the extortion of the American taxpayer. So, like, how is it fair that they're stealing from one person to put up a program for the other? It's insanity. You got to end the Federal Reserve, number one, and you need to end all welfare state nonsense because it's costing Americans money. We're not saying, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, like, well, we just need to let the poor burn or whatever. But, like, there's voluntary ways to help poor people. There's voluntary ways to house poor people. You see it all the time. But unfortunately, the state gets involved when people try to help others, and it's a problem. Part of that is because people are putting this crap on social media when they help others. Stop doing that. Just go help people, for crying out loud. Just go do it. You don't need clicks and likes for that shit. Just go do it. And then the state probably won't get involved because they don't know about it, because it's not all over the fucking internet.
Fucking internet. Not just the internet, the fucking internet.
Fuck the internet.
And we're off the fucking internet. So, yeah. All right. Jake, to you. Should voters approve deficit spending?
I mean, this is another one of those where in the system we have, sure, but there should be no deficit spending. They shouldn't be able to operate without a balanced budget. It's absolutely ridiculous that we keep doing this. Meanwhile, we just gave another $800 million to Ukraine after who says, oh, we're going to end the war day one. We're tired of all this deficit spending and all this money being added to the debt. It's enough already years ago. We got to stop.
All right. So those keeping score, Jake is also against make Ukraine great again. So I'm with you, Jake. Casey, to you. Should lawmakers face penalties for passing unbalanced budgets?
Yeah. Again, I'm going to call it out. Americans, this is on you to remove them from their position and make a scene when they are not serving you and they are serving their special interests. But because Americans are not doing their part, they keep getting elected. And so until we start standing up for ourselves and doing something, they're going to keep getting in there.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat if you have not done so already. I don't think anybody said anything super off color, so I think we're good going into the chat again and seeing what's going on. Oh, well, we got this. 200 to Jake for making it weird. 200 Jake for bringing his sloppy seconds to Shaun. Oh, my God. 100 to Mashawn. At least use a towel. Points to Shaun. Points to Buds if he says FTP.
Fuck the police.
Oh, I thought it was file transfer protocol. I think you may have misunderstood that one. 200 to anyone with a buzz. Seems likely. 200 to Jake, bring them all home. 100 to Jake, close all foreign bases. 200 to Casey. 200 to Jake, no foreign bases. 100 to Shaun, shall not be infringed. Points to Shaun, life is listed first for a reason. We got 100 to Schwan. Self-defense is self-love. 200 to Casey, no militarized police. 200 to Jake for no Talibans. I Chicagoed that. Sorry about that. 200 to Jake for wiping his ass with gun laws. Hopefully they're double ply. 50 to Jake, bidet is still better. 200 to Jake for wiping his ass with sloppy second laws. Oh boy. 100 to Jake for the great meme of wiping his ass with laws. P320 has entered the chat. 200 to Casey. Even my P320 hasn't shot itself yet.
Facts.
100 to Shaniqua. No more two-tier justice. I love how the Casey joke is turned into the Shaun joke. That this show evolves constantly. It's really highbrow. 200 to Jake for jury nullification. 200 to Jake, nullify. 100 to Shaun and the Fed. 200 to Shaun for calling out the fact every federal program is funded by armed robbery. Fuck them all. 200 to Shaun for voluntarism. 100 to Shaun. My kid says this guy's real AF. Minus 50 to Jake. No, not even under this system. Deficit spending is death. 199 to Shaun, or to Jake, sorry. Balance the effing budget. 100 to Jake for AF. 50 to Casey, be the light you want to see. 200 to Casey for not getting weird. We appreciate that. No effects is here. What's up? Jake got points for being firm and stiff. Oh boy. Points to Terry for putting up with our nonsense. Yeah, that's fair. Where's the P320? I can't find them anywhere. They were lost in a boating accident. 100 to me for the double play. Yeah, thank you. All right, let's see what's going on with the scoreboard here. And we got a little flip-flop action here. And Jake is now in the lead, 30-99. Shaun is now getting the sloppy seconds with 25-25. And Kelsicles right behind, 2,100 points. So let's jump right back into it here. Share this out if you haven't done so already. Let's get more people in here to see what we get kicked off for. This is sponsored by our lovely sponsors, Anno. Appreciate them. Shaun, the question is to you. Category is financial privacy. Should the government track individual transactions?
Absolutely not. It's none of their business what you're doing with your money because it's your money. It's not theirs. It is none of their business. We need to get out of this headspace where it's okay for these people to take from you. This is your labor that you put in. This is your time that you put in. That's time you're never getting back, ever. And you should be compensated for that 100%. You can always make your money. You can always make your money, but you're never getting your time back, and your labor is your time. And that being said, the government has no authority to take your money. It's extortion. It's not theft. We need to stop saying taxation is theft. It's extortion because they will come and kill you or lock you up if you don't pay it. It's slavery because of the same difference. We need to get out of this mindset. The access to your money should be null and void, and you need to grow a pair and stop this nonsense immediately, because taxation is the ultimate enslavement of the people, period.
I didn't know when you were going to end there, so I'm with you, though.
No, we're done.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Jake, to you. Should financial records require warrants?
I mean, any records of any kind should require a warrant. I don't know why financial records. I mean, I guess if you're on trial for something, or if you're highly suspected, but I don't even agree with that. So sure, in this, yes, you should have to have a warrant, but in a perfect world, no, shouldn't even be allowed.
Okay. Casey, to you. Should mass financial monitoring be banned?
Yeah, I just wish we could establish it right now, because right now we're not having that. We're creating new codes on how you use your cards and your credit cards, your debit cards, any of that, new merchant codes, so everybody knows where you're spending your money. We're doing it as, we can make your bills cleaner. We can categorize your monthly statements, but really all that's doing is categorizing all of your purchases, so the federal government can easily know what you're doing with it every month. So just keep doing what you want until you pay with cash. As soon as you pay with cash, you are no longer being monitored.
Absolutely. Shaun, to you, the category is cryptocurrency. Should crypto be treated like property?
Well, yeah, because it's yours and it belongs to you and you bought it with your own money. So yeah, it should be yours and yours only. There should be no access to it. There should be no capital gains tax on it. There should be nothing. It's yours. You paid for it with your own labor and time and cash. So nobody else is entitled to it. This shouldn't be like a hard thing to even comprehend. What's yours is yours. If they want something of yours, they need to come earn it immediately.
I'm so confused when you're going to end. I just, you get all wound up, and I'm like going for the button, and then I'm not going for the button. Yeah. All right. Jake, to you. Should Americans be free to use any digital currency?
Americans should be free to use whatever currency, whatever tender they want to, if the other party's willing to accept it. This shit it's getting ridiculous. The most frustrating thing is even around here in Seattle area, trying to pay with cash when the money on it says legal tender. You can't. So many places are cashless, and yes, you should be able to use whatever you want. You should be able to trade beaver pelts if they want to. Doesn't matter.
Beaver pelts. There's going to be some stuff in the chat about that. All right, Casey, to you. Should crypto wallets be protected from seizure without conviction?
Yeah, 100%. But the government keeps wanting to control us and oppress us. And so they're going to keep trying to find ways to take our assets or our financial means of living. And so, yeah, they should be protected. And they are protected, but we don't stand up to fight for our rights to keep the government from taking things from us.
All right. Shaun, back to you. Category is monetary transparency. Should the central bank be audited annually?
Well, do you want the anarchist answer or like the realistic answer?
Always the realistic answer.
The realistic answer is the Fed should not exist, period. There is no central banking that is acceptable and controlling a monetary system that is supposed to be ran by the people, period. Like, as Ludwig von Mises said in The Theory of Money and Credit, the median of exchange should be between the seller and the purchaser, period. And it could be whatever they want it to be. It could be a little bit of my beard. It could be this hat. It could be cash. It could be crypto. It could be gold, silver. It could be this flag or these records behind me. It could be anything that the two parties that are involved in the sale, or maybe even 3 or 4 if there's like a trade situation or whatever. But that should be stuck between the people involved in the transaction, period. No questions asked. That's it. You can click off now.
Thank you. Yeah, bonus points if it's one of Jake's excellent records. So I like that. Jake, to you. Should unelected officials control interest rates?
I mean, absolutely not. I hate to just second what Shaun said, but the Fed's got to go. Any interest rates should be decided by the bank that's issuing them. And if the people want to take the loan on that interest, that's between them and that bank or whoever is loaning the money. There should be no central decision making on any of that.
All right. Casey, to you. Should money creation require congressional approval?
Yeah, because you devalue the dollar. And so you, in essence, take away money from the American citizens. And so how do American citizens fight back in that scenario? It should be their elected representatives in our constitutional republic that would decide those things, but we don't. And so right now, they just decide randomly when they want to print more money and up the frequency, and your dollar value goes down. This is how the government is stealing from you.
All right, Shaun, back to you. Category is anti-corporate welfare. Should politicians be barred from owning stocks?
Yes. Yes. And because they're the ones who get the inside scoop, because the people who are in that market, period, are the ones who are lining their pockets. So how is that fair to any individual outside of that box who's trying to invest or do something with their money to get a positive return? When you have somebody that is higher up who has all the answers and what's going to happen and what's not going to happen, and we saw it in 2008, it was absolutely disgusting. There was winners and there was losers. And of course, there's always winners and losers, but it's not fair when the winners already had the inside scoop of what was to come. So no, politicians should have no interest in the stock market and or be a part of it because of that reason, period. I don't know what else to say, and you can click off now.
I'd like to veto that answer.
Okay.
Oh, come on with it. Bring it.
No, my only complaint or my only veto would be if the information's public. To your point, anything that's private, they absolutely should not. But if we're going equality and they're people just like we are, if the information is public and they're trading on the public information only, which would be hard to regulate, but in theory, then I don't see any reason why they couldn't buy stocks like anybody else. But insider trading should be completely prosecuted.
But that's not how it works.
I understand, but
That's not how the system works. So it's kind of like nefarious to say otherwise, because it's not that situation. They have all the power. They have all the people in their pockets that are going to give them their way.
I understand. No Dan Crenshaw action here. I get that. But I'm saying if there's public information that's made public, they shouldn't be barred from making a financial.
But it's not public, bro. It's not public. We're not getting the same insider trading deals as they are.
I know. So then you check when the trade is made. If the trade's made before the information comes out, then they're penalized for it. But if the information comes out and is public and then the trade happens, I don't think there should be an issue.
Then you're creating regulation and checks that the government has to do. No.
Are you going to penalize the government? Are me going to penalize the government?
Nope.
No,
It's just get rid of it.
Is the FBI, is the CIA, or anybody else going to hold the government into account? Hell no. They have no business in the stock market. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill.
And Jake, I agree with you. I understand where you're coming from, but you're coming from a sense of trusting people to be people. And we already see where that has gotten us with government is we trusted people to do the right thing. And now they have abused it for over 100 years, put us $38 trillion in debt. And all of us are trying to figure out how we buy groceries every week.
I understand that. I'm saying, since we're talking in hypotheticals, because the Fed's not going anywhere either. So if we're talking in hypotheticals, and we're talking hypotheticals, and I'm saying if there is transparency, and we don't have to, that I made my point. If there's transparency and if that can be tracked, I don't see why anybody should be barred from that. But I see your point as well.
Yeah, we're just not in a trusting situation anymore.
Dan Crenshaw came up, and I don't know what any of that had to do with glory.
You have no idea what's
going
on with
Dan
Crenshaw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's just yeah. All right, Jake, to you. Should bailouts be banned outright?
Yes. Bailouts, subsidies, any sort of handout of money from the government for any reason should be like federal disaster aid. That's another question, but bailouts for a business that can't maintain their business and without government money, which is taxpayer money, absolutely not allowed.
All right. Casey, to you. Should subsidies for large corporations be eliminated?
Yeah. What's a bailout? It's no different than a subsidy. Like, just get rid of all funding for these companies coming from the government. Because if the company cannot survive on their own, they cannot create a profitable business. There is no reason for the government to be adding money to their coffers. We need to be just allowing people to fail and to be able to build a business and move on. Government should not be involved in the day-to-day within our borders. They need to just get the fuck out.
I agree. Shaun, back to you. Category is financial autonomy. Should cash always be legal tender?
I mean, yes, because that's what's floating around. You know, that's what people know and that's what people are used to or whatever. But like really in theory, like cash isn't anything. It's not worth a shit. It's not worth a damn. I would say get yourself some silver, some gold, some definitely some copper, because copper is killing it right now. But I'm a precious metals guy. But like that's just me. That's all I got.
All right. Jake, back to you. Should bank accounts be frozen without a criminal conviction?
Absolutely not. And unless it's a financial crime, bank account shouldn't be frozen with a conviction. It's my money. I earned it. It's my money. Hands off.
All right. Casey, to you. Should Americans control their own retirement savings?
Yeah, they can if they stop trusting corporations and the government to put together their retirement. If they actually just take ownership and control their own life, you wouldn't have a problem with your retirements. But because you keep trusting other people to do it for you, that is why we have this question on the screen.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat if you've not done so already. We got 200 to Shaun. Preach. Your labor is yours alone. 100 to Shaun for, of course, balls. Yep, balls. 200 to Shaun for being crystal clear about what taxation is. It's a death threat. Archie Bunker wants his hat back. 5 points to Shaun. 50 to Jake, get a warrant. 100 to Casey, surveillance state is here. 200 to KC, if Emily says hi.
Oh.
Hey, Emily. Follow the lovely Emily. She is Mrs. American versus Gov. She's awesome. 35 to Casey. I forgot the question, but it was a good answer. 100 to Shaun. The source of all value is time. 100 to Shaun. My data is my property. Taxing it is slavery and theft and wrong. 200 to Jake. Exchanges of beaver pelts. Here come the freaking beavers. Oh my God. Yeah, here we go. 50 to Jake. Beaver pelts, $5 pre-trimmed. Yeah, here we go. Minus 200 to Jake. Beaver should not have pelts in 2025. 100 to Jake. Beaver pelts, squirrel hats, whatever. 200 Casey for fighting for his right to party. Yeah, very, very beastie boys of you. 100 Shaun, fire, fire, fire. That's Rude's thing. 200 Shaun for the Mises nod. 100 Shaun, if you yell it louder and the Fed, come on. I don't think Sean's listening. That's
I'm listening.
Probably because we spelled his name wrong.
I'm listening.
Watson, I barter
I'm
with
reading
Happy and
comments too. I'm
Cheetos.
sorry. I'm reading.
Okay. Yeah, I could tell because your lips were moving. So 200 to Jake for letting the market set the price of money. 100 to Jake decentralize. I was on the line, but 500 points to whoever said beaver. Points to Jake for trading services he provides in return for landing. Yeah, here we go. Landing strip beaver.
Oh my
pelts.
goodness.
Points to Jake. Minus 50 to Jake. There's no way they could not account for insider information, knowing the laws they're passing and working on. Minus 200 to everyone for yelling in my earbuds. Plus 100 to Shaun. Shaun of the Fed and the Fed. Points to Casey. Points to Casey for winning the fight. 67 to Jake for invoking a veto. Yeah, we haven't had a veto in a while. 200
Or a
Jake, no
6-7.
bailouts or subsidies. 200 to Jake and Casey each. 200 Casey for getting the Gov the F out. 100 to Jake for anti-bailouts. Welcome, Leah. Points to Jake, no bailouts. Points to Casey, no bailouts. Retard News, what's up? Great account to follow. Ron Swanson would agree. 100 to Casey, 100 to Shaun, silver balls. Here we go, balls. 100 to Jake for the sweet haircut. So you've gained and lost points for the haircut. So let's see how that goes. 100 to everyone with a beard. That's everybody. 100 to Jake, hands off my money. Minus 50 to Casey. Unless you work yourself, you don't really get a choice about participation.
I 100% disagree with that.
Lots of points to Terry for having to deal with you yo-yos. That's absolutely fair.
Yeah.
Points to Shaun for the flag, and minus 95 to Casey for Cat not making an appearance yet. So I don't think you can really control cats.
Nope.
Points to whoever hates Lindsey Graham.
Yeah.
Nobody hates Lindsey Graham.
Shaun, you are way too slow for that one.
Yeah.
Because nobody hates Lindsey Graham more than me. I have the War Pig shirt with his face on it. Do you?
I need one of those.
Yes.
Talk to my boy Joel Ellenwood, aka the Infinite_Zeal. He's the one who made those shirts, dude. I have it.
I hate Lindsey Graham enough that I wouldn't want his ugly face on my shirt. That just
With
would
the
ruin my
War
whole
Pig
look.
with a big snout, though, it's great, dude. It's so.
All right. That sounds good. All right, let's see where we're at with the scores. Ooh, another little flip-flop here. Jake's still in the lead, 45-66.
Oh, man,
but
I'm
Casey's
losing
now in
again.
second. Can I do my
it's a
show,
tight
Shaun?
one.
I gotta read these things. Casey 41-85, Shaun 41-30, and yeah, it's interesting. A lot of points though. Shaun, do you want to mention that everybody should nuke you or anything like that, real quick?
Nuke me now so I can lose with dignity.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Back to Shaun. Categories: gun rights. Should free citizens ever lose their right to own common firearms?
No, because number one, my right to self-defense comes from the man upstairs, and number two, shall not be infringed means exactly that, and number three, come and try and take them for real. Please come to my house and try and take my guns. Please, I beg you to do that, and I'll leave it at that.
I know you're in the basement, so I don't want to know who's upstairs. But Jake, to you, should gun restrictions focus on criminals rather than tools?
I mean, there should be no gun restrictions unless you're in prison at the time for something. Then you can't have one. Otherwise, there's no, like Shaun said, and like the Second Amendment says, shall not be infringed. End of story.
All right, Casey, to you. Should states be barred from banning firearms in common use?
They are banned from banning firearms in common use, as long as you stand up for your Second Amendment and fight for your rights. You allow your states to take your rights, the federal government will go even farther and take even more of your rights. If you don't want to fight against the state, then you're going to lose this battle every time. So just learn to stand up for yourselves and fight against the government trying to take your rights every day.
Yeah, California has that list of guns you're allowed to own, So, all right. Shaun, to you, the category is anti-digital authoritarianism. Should digital tracking without consent be illegal?
Digital tracking in general should be illegal, period. They have no right to track you. They don't have the authority to track you. It's crazy. But here we are with our gay cell phones that freaking have our location. No matter, you're not going to run and hide anywhere. You are tracked and surveilled 100% of the time. And most of it is thank you to the United States government who allows these things to happen through people like Palantir, FISA 702, or the Patriot Act. You are not safe. You are not unknown. You will never dodge the state until you get rid of the state. And that's that.
But the state says I am safe if I trust them.
We'll talk to the people who dealt with Mussolini and Joe Stalin and people like Pol Pot and all them. They'll tell you something different. Oh wait, they can't tell you anything.
Spoiler alert there. Yep. All right, Jake, to you. Should biometric data collection require explicit consent?
Absolutely, it should. But just for the record, my phone's heterosexual. Just so you know. Yeah, data collection should always require consent of any sort of data collection of any kind should require consent. It should be very clear in a very short release what is actually being collected and what it's being used for.
Something's going on. Terry's laughing real hard in the background there. All right. Casey, to you, should facial recognition be banned in public spaces?
Yes. 100% it should be banned in public spaces because it is generally only used by the government. And for example, January 6th was used all of the facial recognition software that they could do to capture different J6ers. But where was the J6 bomber? Where was everybody else that we were trying to capture over the last few years with the government? Nowhere. But when the government wants to use it against you, American citizens, they have no problem turning it on, utilizing it, capturing you, and locking you up.
Totally. Shaun, to you, category is entrepreneurial freedom. Should taxes on startups be eliminated?
There should be no taxes, period. And actually, that's the end of story. Period. That's it. No taxes. Nobody's entitled to my money. Nobody's entitled to your money. Nobody's entitled to anybody's money who's listening. Period.
I think you semicolon there, but I'll allow it. Jake, to you. Should regulations automatically expire unless renewed? Yeah.
I mean, we should constantly be going over what regulations are even on the books and seeing what we can abolish. And that doesn't make any sense in the first place, even before an expiration comes up. But absolutely everything should be renewed, revisited, reappropriated as often as possible.
Excellent.
That doesn't empower the corruption to stay in place. I don't know why you would want to do that.
I don't think we want the corruption. Casey, to you. Should occupational licensing be abolished for non-harmful work?
Occupational licensing should be abolished entirely. Why in the hell are we issuing licensing for making food or cutting hair or doing any of the stupid garbage that we require in every state? and your liberal states get even worse. Like, abolish all occupational licensing.
I feel like I didn't write these questions for you. There's something off about them.
I actually have something to add to what he said, because you don't need a license to do your job. Like, here's the thing. If you're going to own a business, which I do, I own a painting business. You have to have liability insurance in order to be accepted on certain job sites, right? Well, liability insurance companies, or insurance companies in general, love to tell people no, period. That's just what they do. That's their MO. So if you're going to start a business, the liability insurance company should say, hey, do you know what the hell you're doing with this stuff? And then when you prove to them, they say that you can, well, then they're going to insure you. You don't need a license for that, because you already proved to the insurance company, who's going to cancel you anyway if you don't know what the hell you're doing. So, like, you could totally take the licensing thing out of the middle of it. Insurance companies could be the savior. I know that's kind of crazy thing to say, but like, I know how insurance works because I own a lot of insurance because of what I do for a living, and cars and houses and everything else. And they love to tell people no. So give them a reason to tell you yes, and you'll have yourself a business just fine.
Totally agree. Both good answers. Not gonna add that back. All right. Shaun, back to you. Category is parent and student autonomy. Should parents be able to opt out of federal education standards?
Yes, and not only that, they should be able to opt out of government indoctrination camps, period. Do not send your children to these schools. They are not getting an education. They're getting an indoctrination. They're collecting your kids' data, which I will talk about Wednesday with Miss Terry Batts on my show. And you wouldn't believe who even owns some of these companies who are monitoring your children. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just get it over with. There's no way. Homeschool your kids, get them out of this system, because there's nothing good that's going to come out of it besides some participation trophies and some whiny brats saying, I want green hair and lesbians.
You mentioned Terry, so of course there's going to be applause. Terry right there. So,
What's wrong with guys wanting lesbians, Shaun? You have a problem with that?
Oh no, my neighbors are lesbians. I love them. Straight up, bro.
Apparently there's a boo button right next to the applause one. So, all right, Jake, to you. Should education dollars follow the student?
Yeah. I haven't really honestly given this very much thought before. I was going back to your previous question. There should be no federal education standards anyway. That's ridiculous. But I guess if there's going to be education dollars, they should follow the student. They shouldn't just be allotted to the institutions.
You dropped
Jesus.
dropped the mic there. I don't know. There was another button I hadn't pressed, so I just did.
I like that button.
Yeah.
Oh, good hell.
That's for you, Casey.
China.
All right, Casey, to you. Should schools be required to disclose all curriculum content?
Yes. And guess what? They are, and I'm calling out you Americans, they are required to disclose them if you show up to your school board meetings. If you start going there and calling it out on the content and what they're discussing, you can put everything on the table and you can put it in front of everybody and it starts getting disclosed. But because you only have 1% of parents showing up to school board meetings, this is why decisions get made without your involvement. And so show up to hear Terry talk about how your participation or lack thereof is the reason why the school board system is starting to fail you.
You mentioned Terry again, so let's do the applause again. All right, Shaun, back to you. Terry's going wild in the background. Categories: medical freedom. Should patients be allowed access to experimental treatments?
Absolutely. And it's actually for somebody who's been through the medical system, but there was no experimental treatments or whatever, but that should be up to the patient and the doctor, period. Like if somebody's going through cancer and they have a new and up and coming drug or whatever, and they want to try it on this person, and this said person consents to it to save their lives, because they're either going to die or not die anyways, and there's a chance to like maybe fix it and be a part of like a situation where like, wow, we found this great drug. Of course, that is a great idea, but that needs to be up to the doctor and the patient, period. There should be no government involved. It's none of their business, just like anything else. It's all about the consensual agreement between the parties involved of the situation at hand.
I found a button I hadn't pressed.
Didn't do it.
I just did that to piss off Casey.
Oh
So
my good hell. Oh my good hell.
oh boy. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, now Terry's dancing. Terry's dancing. Yep. All right. Jake, to you. Should doctors be free from government treatment mandates?
I mean, yes, it goes back to the previous question too. Anything that happens medically should be between the patient and the doctor. End of story. I mean, any sort of treatment you want to get, there should be no mandates on what doctors are required to perform. Back to what Shaun was saying earlier, the liability insurance covers malpractice, or the malpractice insurance covers it. No mandates. No mandates of any kind.
I agree.
Just social distance and wear a mask. You'll be fine.
All right, Casey, you. Oh, it's long too. It goes on forever.
Shit. This is long.
Again.
This is like watching Three's Company.
What the hell is going on?
Open my door.
It's like 30 minutes long. Casey, should individuals control all medical decisions?
Should individuals control really? Oh my good hell. Should individuals control all medical decisions? This question is absolutely absurd that is even on the screen. You control all medical decisions for yourself. So stop putting the accountability on anybody else. If you want to control your life, you can actually just make the decisions and control yourself. If you didn't want to get the jab from COVID, you can control yourself. Go do it. Go avoid it and not trust your government, which is what you should have done, and move on in your life. You don't need somebody else to tell you what your medical decisions are.
Oh my God.
Why do you got to play the one that goes on forever?
Because it's the only one I got.
The only one you got? Oh my good hell.
All right. Enter your scores in the chat. If you want to hear more laughter, put that in the chat. If you like driving Casey as crazy as I do, just throw that in the chat. I'll be happy to oblige. Let's see if anybody's still watching this. All right. 100 to Shaun, come and take it. -100 to Shaun for presenting guns to convicted criminals. -5 to Casey, free Dexter Taylor. 200 to Shaun for having a gay cell phone, way to promote equality. 100 to Shaun, wasn't listening, but he's right because of the beard. Points to Casey for sticking up for the J6ers. Points to Shaun, no taxes. What's mine is mine. Points to Shaun, no taxes. Points to Shaun, fuck taxes. Points to Jake for expiration dates. Points to Shaun, license doesn't confer, prove, or imply skill. Points to Casey, abolish occupational licensing. It hurts poor people more. Government is picking winners and losers. Points to Casey, abolish occupational licensing except for making toast. Interesting. Points to Shaun, homeschool your kids. Points to Shaun, green hair and lesbians. Points to Shaun for homeschool. Points to Jake for school choice. Fun students, not systems. Points to me for being a button pusher. Yeah, that's me. Usually the wrong button too. Points to me for the obnoxious sound effects. Points to Shaun, guinea pigs unite. Points to Shaun for medical freedom. Points to Shaun. Government should not be involved in personal choice regarding medical treatment. Minus 1,000. Whoever gave me the sound effects, that would also be me. Points to Jake. Points to Jake. Docs should not have government rules. Points to Casey for calling Free's question ridiculous, but 200 for telling the government to stay out of medical decisions. And sorry, everyone. He said he was going to just use the boom because it was gay. Oh, now Terry's getting into it. But I did mention Terry, so now we got to do back to that. And the lovely Terry Batts. All right, let's check the scores. Jake's still in the lead, 52-66. Shaun has jumped up again, 51-30. And Casey, who gets a lot of laughter and applause, is 49-20. So, all right. Let's see, where are we at here? Let's go new category. We've got pick one. Shaun, to you. Best way to handle the Epstein files: full public release, redacted release, congressional review only, special prosecutor, or seal permanently?
Full public release, or it's all gay and retarded, honestly. And it's fake gay and retarded, to be quite honest with you, because what's happening is that the Trump administration had taken away this little bit of files so they can redact it a little bit. So no matter what's coming out, like, we can get excited about Massey all we want and what he's done, and it's great. I love it. Like, God bless Thomas Massey. And as a matter of fact, he should probably hire some private security to protect himself from what's to come, because they're going to Charlie Kirk him if he keeps this up. I'm telling you right now, this is how this is going to go. And I hate saying that. I don't want anything bad to happen to Thomas Massey. He's a great individual. He is great for Congress. I don't want him to run for president because he needs to stay in Congress. But, at the end of the day, we're not getting anything of importance out of these files. We're not going to get it. And if you're going to expect somebody to get something of some enormous importance of what's going to happen, because what the Epstein files hold is, and I've been keeping a 3-ring binder notebook full of notes since 2018 about Epstein. I can tell you a lot about it, and that's not for this show, and we can do it on a different show or whatever you want to do, but I can tell you a lot about it. But what I do know is that list, no matter what it is not coming out with anything credible, which is very sad. But does it need to come out? Does it need to come out unredacted? Absolutely. But the problem with that is that the powers that be control it, and the powers that be are on that list. And it's not just about United States politicians. This is a global phenomenon. We know that Ehud Barak was there, who is the former prime minister of Israel. We know that Prince Andrew was there, who had to pay Virginia Giuffre an astronomical amount of money to get out of it. We know that Bill Clinton was there. We know that Bill Gates was there. Okay? But this isn't just about them. We're talking about Supreme Court justices. We're talking about big name lawyers. We're talking about Hollywood. We're talking about the music industry. They were all there. And we're talking about people from all over the world. This is a global phenomenon. And this is why it's protected so much. Okay, you guys. So should it come out unredacted? Absolutely 100%. Is it going to? Absolutely not 100%. So what do we get out of the deal? We still get nothing. But should we shut up about it? No. We need to keep pushing, and we need to keep going no matter what. And that's my answer.
All right. Jake, to you. Biggest threat to personal freedom: surveillance, taxes, regulation, censorship, or policing?
I mean, is there an all of the above?
Nope.
Can I see those one more time?
Pick one's the name of the game.
I know.
We covered this in the pregame meeting, but that's okay.
I'm going to go regulation. I mean, it's all bad, but I think regulation is the biggest hindrance to freedom.
Okay. Casey, to you. Scope of Second Amendment: individual right, collective right, state regulated, federal regulation, or limited privilege.
It is an individual right, and it is stated that in our Constitution, and it comes from God, not the government. So the government needs to stay the F out.
Oh, that was a gunshot. I found a gunshot. All
You
right.
didn't hear it.
Pew pew.
There we go.
Apparently, I can't press it fast either. All right. Shaun, back to you. Surveillance of citizens. Never allowed, only with a warrant, only for terrorism, metadata only, or allowed broadly.
Only with a warrant, period. Because if you are doing nefarious things and they have you under a criminal watch and you're doing something that is against the law, whether it be hurting people, taking their stuff, or private property, you deserve to be under surveillance. Okay. And I'm not saying that surveillance should be for anybody, but this should be surveillance under people who have are for the state or whoever it may be who's in charge, that has clear and cut evidence that said person is doing something nefarious and they need to collect evidence on them. But this would have to require, a lot of things in between, I guess. But as far as surveillance goes, just for anybody, just because, absolutely not. But if you have somebody and you have the receipts that they have done some bad shit, well, yeah, they should be under surveillance. So you can catch them doing some nefarious shit and put them away where they belong. But until you have said evidence, then no.
All right. Jake, to you. Best way to prevent a police state: limit surveillance, end qualified immunity, decentralize policing, increase oversight, or expand police powers.
I mean, it's got to be ending qualified immunity. It's got to start and end there. There should be no reason why any law enforcement officer should be immune from committing a crime against you while they're trying to supposedly do their job. Qualified immunity's got to go.
I agree. Casey, to you. Top border security priority: physical barriers, technology, personnel, legal reform, or end enforcement.
Yeah, I'm gonna be probably the odd one on this panel about this, but I'm okay with physical barriers for when it comes to our border, and most of that is establishing just a foundation of protecting our country from invaders, and so I'm gonna go with physical borders. I'm sure you were planning that. You knew that was gonna probably be my answer on this one.
Oh, I love these buttons.
Yeah,
All right,
you would.
Yeah. Shaun, back to you. Best approach to foreign aid: end all aid, reduce significantly, conditional aid, maintain current levels, or increase aid.
End all foreign aid, period. America only. We're $38 trillion in debt and counting, by the way. It's never going to stop. So you have no business printing money and devaluing my dollar, your dollars, in order to take care of other people. We don't have it. We don't have it. We're broke. We're bankrupt. We're indigent. Like we have, I live just down the road from 8 Mile. There's people, there's veterans living under bridges on 8 Mile Road in Detroit right now as we speak. There is no reason for foreign aid. Oh my God. Okay, I'm going to go on a rant. Sorry, guys. The United States government just passed a $900 billion military package, which sent $800 million to Ukraine and about $700 million to Israel. And the rest is to go bomb third world countries that have no way to defend themselves. And we're and this is okay. This is okay behavior. No, it's not. We don't have it. We're fucking broke. We are fucking broke. We don't have the money. I'm not saying we shouldn't be helping people, but you are supposed to take care of your immediate family before you take care of others. And the United States government is taking care of others before their immediate family, and enough already. We have had enough. I'm not going to say anymore because it's going to get my door kicked in by the feds, but enough already. Enough. We have had fucking enough.
No one's kind of long too. All right. Jake, to you. Use of auto pen should be banned, limited to routine matters, allowed with disclosure, allowed freely, or expanded.
I didn't want to interrupt you, but I could have stopped you at banned. There's no reason for an auto pen. If there's that much shit that you've got to sign, we got a problem in the first place. You need to be able to sign everything in person, in pen. Yeah, absolutely no auto pen.
What if they're geriatric president?
We'll take a scribble. But no auto pen.
All right. A little drip of ice cream or something on there would work.
Just make your mark. Just make an X, right?
Yeah. I don't think Biden could have done that, but I'm with you. Casey, to you. Biggest threat to sovereignty: foreign influence, global institutions, trade dependence, debt, or military alliances?
Option 6, government. Because it really, like, when we're talking about threats to sovereignty, all of those are threats to sovereignty, every single one of them. If we want to take the biggest, you can start looking at, I guess we have to go with debt, because then we are a slave to the government to be able to try to control us. And that is how we become a slave, and we are no longer sovereign. And so if you wanted to name off those 5, we got to go with debt, but government requires all of those things, and that's how we are controlled.
All right. Shaun, back to you. Aid to Israel should be, and I'm already regretting this. Here,
I promised you, bro.
I'm gonna punch myself out for this one. I'm just gonna, yeah, there we go. There's a punch. Yeah. All right. Aid to Israel should be military only, humanitarian only, fully conditional, unconditional, or ended.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a 2-part answer. It should be ended altogether by the United States government. If people want to if citizens of America want to voluntarily fund their bullshit, then knock yourselves out. But the United States government should not be collecting taxes and giving it to Israel ever, period. And I'll leave it at that before I get you kicked off your channel.
I appreciate that, because we're big on TikTok, and I think they just gave them TikTok. So, all right.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. All right. Jake, to you. Limits on personal freedom: only harm to others, public safety, moral standards, national security, or no limits.
Only on harm to others. Yeah, the nap. I mean, other than that, no limits on personal freedom.
All right.
I'll go with no limits. Let people defend themselves.
Okay. Also fair. Casey, to you. Concealed carry policy: nationwide, reciprocity, state control, permitless, federal permits, or ban.
Concealed carry policy is pretty clear. It's our Second Amendment, and it says it shall not be infringed, and that's where it comes with. And so that means permitless as that option is because we already have it. The Constitution states it, and there's no need for anything else. What in the world are you with this?
You want to talk to Free about his weird button pushing.
What the fuck is going on?
Oh, we got Casey's real voice there. That was pretty cool. All right. Shaun, back to you. Responsibility for Epstein cover-up: prosecutors, intelligence agencies, political leaders, financial elite, or the media.
It's no question. It's political leaders. They're the ones who are on the list. They're the ones who are doing they were the ones raping children. I mean, like, they're the ones who are protecting said people. And I'm going to even go out and say even more. The people protecting the pedophiles. Oops, I wasn't supposed to say.
Oh boy.
I didn't. Well, I'm sorry. I just said it. The people protecting the people who hurt children are worse than the people who did the act, because they could have done something and did nothing. This is insanity that this is even a question. This isn't about who's in charge or who's not in charge or anything like that. You're protecting people who hurt children, and anybody who hurts children deserves the wood chipper, feet first, very slowly. I don't care, and I'm not sorry.
Facts.
I agree.
Make wood chippers great again. That's what we should do.
I didn't mean to say the extra P word, but motherfucker.
You can get it. You're good. We said it once.
We're off TikTok in Israel again. So thanks for that. Jake, to you. Role of federal policing agencies: none, support only, oversight, direct control, or expand authority.
None. That's all. I have nothing to, I'm not going to Shaun rant. None, just none.
Okay. All right. Casey, back to you. Future of education: decentralize, reform, maintain, federalize, or privatize.
Decentralize the world, decentralize everything, get rid of federal control, get rid of any government control. We don't want any central control. Leave it up to freedom and let freedom guide the way.
All right. Shaun, back to you. Who should authorize surveillance? Judges, Congress, executive branch, intelligence agencies, or no one?
I'm going to say judges because, like I said before, there are certain people who probably should be under surveillance as long as they have enough evidence to surveil them and have a warrant to do so. Outside of that, no.
Are any of them on this panel? All right,
No
Jake, to
comment.
you. Future of AutoPen: eliminate, restrict, maintain, modernize, or expand.
I'm going to have to second my previous answer and just say eliminate. There should absolutely be no auto pen under any circumstances.
Okay.
I was going to say, if you get this one wrong, I'm kicking you out right now.
All right, Casey, to you. Best school choice model: vouchers, education savings accounts, charter schools, open enrollment, or no choice.
Yeah, that one's a tough one out of the options on the screen, but you're laughing. Because I'm stuck between vouchers and open enrollment, because everything else can come with restrictions. But if you were to go with, you know what, we'll go with vouchers, because you could take those and just spend them everywhere as long as those vouchers don't have restrictions and they have to be put in a certain place. Let's go with vouchers.
All right.
Can I butt back on that a little bit though?
Of course.
About the voucher thing, like I'm not necessarily against vouchers, but what if said parental units don't use that money to educate their child? And that's the problem with the vouchers, that they can't really monitor. Like hypothetically say there is, I live in Detroit and there's some poverty in Detroit, and say said parent gets I can't remember what the number is per child in a school or whatever. We'll just call it $5,000 for the sake of doing it. So what if said parent gets that $5,000 and doesn't put their child in any school, and then spends it on themselves, or, whatever they're doing is cigarettes or whatever it may be.
Right.
Well, then how do you ratify that? Because now that child's not getting an education at all.
So it was out of those options on the screen. So if it was my choice, government isn't funding our schools. We go and do that. Like that is the solution, right? But out of that choice,
that's my.
But vouchers were probably the most freely chosen option. There was an school savings account type of thing, but then you're still trusting bankers, and they're going to put restrictions on it. But if you have at least vouchers, and when those come into play, you can make sure when those come out, they are expendable and they can go into many different places. That was probably the best option that was there.
Yeah, vouchers would have to be used at a school, so I don't think you could, bring them to the liquor store or whatever.
No.
So, all right, so we've reached the end here. Enter your scores in the chat if you've not done so already, and tell us what you think. Tell us who you thought won, it's been a good match so far, and let's jump into the chat here and see what's going on. Ooh, lots of stuff going on. Points to Shaun, come and take it. Minus to Shaun for presenting guns to convicted criminals. We're redoing some here. Let's see. I'm jumping ahead here. Points to Shaun, no taxes. Points to Shaun, fuck taxes. I think we did those two. Let's see. Points to Shaun for homeschool. Points to Jake for school choice. Fund students, not systems. These are all old ones. Points to Jake. Adoption out of government rules. Here we go. Points to Shaun. God bless Thomas Massey. Points to Sean Stramidismus. Protect Thomas Massey. Terry, don't do that, please. 200 to Shaun, no foreign aid. 100 to Shaun, keep preaching U.S. expenditures are the problem, no more debt. Points to Jake, ban the auto pen. Points to Shaun, no effing aid to Israel. Points to KC, shall not be infringed, period. Points to KC for sucking helium on the show. F&A Shaun, points. Points to Shaun for invoking the wood chipper. More points for the wood chipper. Points to Jake, no Shaun rant, no federal police. Points to Casey, decentralized. Points to Casey, freedom and decentralization. Just random points. Dan Button, Jake, and 100 to Jake for answering the same question twice. And let's see where we ended up here. And let me, since I'm just, obsessed with the buttons now, let's do the drum roll. Let's just to annoy Casey one
Sounds like
last
the
time.
Flintstones almost driving the car.
Yeah, right. Shaun with the big win, 67-30. Casey jumps to second place, 61-80. Oh, and he was just 114 points ahead of Jake. It was a good match. Jake, you came in third place. What'd you think, buddy?
Hey, I stand by the veto. That's probably what cost me the most, but I stand by it. So it's fun. It's fun. It's a good time. I appreciate the engagement on that anyway. So it's good. And
go ahead and plug the show, please.
Yeah. If by Whiskey, every Wednesday night, 5:00 Pacific, 8:00 Eastern. Check out Mark Shaun Polls. Check it myself out on X. It's always a good time.
Awesome. And you can find that show on X, on Rumble, on YouTube, and you can follow Jake at Whiskey Smiles. And appreciate you doing this, man.
Thanks for having me.
Second place went to Casey. Last minute fill-in, but he does a great job as a last minute fill-in. What did you think, Casey?
It was a good show. I'm surprised Shaun didn't go on his more rants, but he already went on a lot. Overall, it was great. We learned a lot. We talked a lot. We shared a lot in common. Couldn't ask for anything better. But you can check me out on They Both Suck podcast on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern. I won't have one this upcoming week, but we'll be coming back in the new year. We got a few guests coming on.
I heard you say more sound effects.
What the hell are you doing?
You can follow my good friend Casey Rasmussen on X at American versus Gov. He does They Both Suck podcast semi-annually or bicentennially or something like that. Wednesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern. His awesome gear is at awakenotwokestore.com. And appreciate you, Casey. Thanks for jumping in last minute here, man. Always appreciate you. And the shocker of all shockers, he dealt a loss to us because we probably lost all of our channels, but he got the win. What do you think, Shaun?
I had a great time. I appreciate you having me. I love what you're doing here. This is a lot of fun, and you need to have way more people on here to do this. It's just a way to get some Liberty stuff out and have some, like, almost a little bit of civil discourse. You know what I mean? It wasn't a bunch. And even though I got loud a little bit, like, it wasn't because I was mad. It was just because I'm passionate about what I'm talking about, but like, you're doing great things here. If you guys want to find me, I'm at Buds in Reality on X and everywhere, Facebook, Instagram. It's Bud's letter N reality. It's an homage to Guns N' Roses, but I do a show every Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. We have a great time on the #1 Liberty podcast out of Detroit. And, give me a follow, give me a like, give me a something. I love you guys so much. And Liberty's the answer always. And it, no matter what, Liberty is messy, but statism is a catastrophe. So choose wisely.
Minus 100 points for not mentioning that Amity's +1 was your best guest of the year, but you could you can follow Shaun at Buds and Reality. Now that I know it's Guns N' Roses, I hate that name a little bit more, but his podcast is Buds and Reality. That's on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, YouTube, Rumble, Spotify, X, and you can follow him at Buds and Reality if I didn't say that. So awesome, man. Appreciate you. Congrats on the win. You get the very handsome Peace Prize trophy, which I'm sure you're excited about. I hope it stares at you all the time.
I hope I get it because I'll put it right up behind me with all my other collectibles here. I will. I'll put it right there.
All right. Adding Terry back in, who's been laughing the whole time. Terry, what did you think?
Oh, I loved it. The chat was great. These guys are awesome. And, it's so nice to be able to laugh and talk about liberty and freedom at the same time. And even if you disagree, I just absolutely love that. So I love the show. Thanks for all of those beautiful sounds, Free. They were absolutely fantastic. I loved every minute of it. So I'll talk to everybody soon, Wednesday, I guess. And coming up on Tuesday, returning because he is the most awesome guy on the planet, Casey Rasmussen. We'll be back on Tuesday with my favorite J6 hero, Cash Lee Kelly, and also for his first time, Mr. Anthony Russo. So I'll see you guys later.
That one's gonna be a good one. Oh, Jesus. Really?
I love these sound effects. I need to learn how to use them.
Encourage this bad mentality if you can't be doing this.
That Tuesday we've got a Truth Will Set You Free reunion. So they're going to go head to head. If you miss seeing them argue on their old show, they'll be doing it live here. It's going to be a great time. 3 friends of mine, awesome guys. So this will be a lot of fun. And let's see here. Remember, you can follow me and Terry. I'm at Smarter Game Show. She is at BatsT76. You can get our merch at freedomsuperstore.com. Check out the awesome shorts Terry will be putting up tomorrow on YouTube at Freedom Uncut. Appreciate Xano being our sponsor. Your privacy matters. Choose Xano, the leading blockchain platform that prioritizes confidentiality and security. And like I mentioned, if you're new to the space, an excellent resource is intro.xano.org. You can learn a lot there. And we will be at all of these libertarian conventions: Georgia, California, Florida, North Carolina, Texas, and then wrapping it up with the national convention in May. And thank you to our subscribers. If you want to subscribe to us on X, please feel free to do so. Help support the show. We want to buy more sound effects if we're being completely honest here. And if you want to sponsor the show, you can email us at studio@freedomuncut.com. So join us again on Tuesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Truth Will Set You Free reunion show. It's going to be so awesome. I'm so looking forward to it. Appreciate everybody in the chat. You guys make this so fun and interesting, and really appreciate all the support. And we will see you Tuesday, 8 p.m. Peace, y'all.
Yep. Don't buy